What the research actually shows on collagen. Collagen supplements promise a lot. Better skin, stronger joints, denser bones, fewer wrinkles, more muscle, faster recovery. The supplement aisle leans hard on all of these claims. So the fair question to ask is which ones the actual science supports and how strongly? Let's walk through it, system by system without overclaiming. First, does it even reach the body? The oldest objection to oral collagen goes something like this. You eat it, your gut breaks it down into amino acids, the amino acids become indistinguishable from any other protein you eat, and there's nothing special left to deliver to your skin or your joints. That argument made a lot of sense for a long time, but it's not quite right. Hydrolyzed collagen, which is the broken down form you'll find most in supplements, isn't fully disassembled during digestion. Specific dipeptides actually survive the gut and show up intact in your bloodstream. And they've been measured in skin, cartilage, and bone tissue hours after digestion. So they're not just floating around your blood, they're actually arriving at the tissues that need them most. So that handles the mechanism question. Now let's get into what actually shows up in the studies. Let's start with skin. Skin is where the research runs deepest and the signal is most consistent. A 2023 meta-analysis pulled together 26 randomized controlled trials with over 1,700 participants. And the conclusion was that hydrolyzed collagen significantly improved both skin hydration and elasticity compared to placebo. The effect grew stronger past the 8-week mark. And newer trials add even more granularity. A 2025 study using low molecular weight collagen peptides found measurable improvements in wrinkle depth at the eyes, the nasolabial folds, and the neck. Skin density went up, hydration went up, and a finding most people wouldn't expect, even pore size and sebum production trended downward. The structural improvement seems to extend beyond what we initially thought. And two things are worth flagging. Most trials run on women in midlife, and many of them are funded by collagen brands. So both of those are fair reasons to hold the data with some care. But the direction is consistent across independent research groups, and the effect sizes aren't subtle. Now let's talk about joints. The joint evidence is messier than the skin evidence. Most of the research focuses on people with osteoarthritis, where the need is the highest and the outcomes are easiest to measure. A meta-analysis of 35 trials and over 3,000 patients found small to moderate improvements in pain and function compared to controls. So if you're already living with joint pain, that's worth paying attention to. But if you're a healthy person just hoping to prevent joint problems you don't yet have, the case is a little bit more speculative. It's also worth knowing that not all joint products work the same way. Hydrolyzed collagen peptides accumulate in cartilage and stimulate the cells that maintain it. Undenatured type 2 collagen works through immune regulation, which is why it's effective at much lower doses. So you've got two different mechanisms here, and they shouldn't really be compared like for like. Now let's talk about bones. The bone evidence is smaller, but it's striking. A 12-month placebo-controlled trial in postmenopausal women found that 5 grams of specific collagen peptides daily significantly increased bone mineral density at both the spine and the hip. Markers of bone formation went up, and markers of bone breakdown went down. It's one well-designed trial in a very specific population, so we don't want to overgeneralize. But the mechanism is sound since bone is roughly 1/3 collagen by weight, and the population studied had a real clinical need. So this is an area that deserves more research attention than we currently see. Now let's talk about the newer frontiers. There are a few areas worth keeping an eye on. Take muscle connective tissue. In older men with sarcopenia, 15 grams of collagen peptides taken during a 12-week resistance training program produced bigger strength and lean mass gains than training plus placebo alone. Now, collagen isn't replacing whey protein here. It's doing something different. It's supporting the connective tissue that actually transmits force when you're lifting. And then there's wound healing. This is where collagen has the longest clinical track record. Hydrolyzed collagen has improved healing rates in pressure ulcer and burn patients across multiple controlled trials. It's a narrow clinical context, not the general population, but the evidence here is solid. And then there's another exciting new finding. A 2025 paper out of ETH Zurich proposed that what's actually doing the work in collagen supplementation might be even simpler than peptides. The 3 amino acids that dominate collagen in their natural ratio of 3 parts glycine to 1 part proline to 1 part hydroxyproline were enough to extend lifespan in worms. They improved grip strength and reduced fat in old mice. And they reduced biological age by about 1.4 years in a 6-month human study. Now, the human arm of that study wasn't placebo-controlled, so hold that conclusion loosely. But the underlying idea is very important. What the body might actually recognize might not be the collagen molecule itself. It might be the amino acid signature. Let's take a pause here. The evidence isn't equal across the board. Skin has the deepest data and the most consistent signal. Joints have meaningful evidence, especially for osteoarthritis. Bones have a small but compelling trial in postmenopausal women. And muscle, wound healing, and the amino acid story are all promising, but earlier stage, and we need more human trial evidence. So a few caveats apply across the whole field. A lot of these studies are short, a lot are industry funded, and effect size vary. And most of the participants are women in their 40s to 60s. But across thousands of trial participants and multiple independent research groups, the direction holds. Collagen in the right form, at the right dose, over the right duration, does something that the body can use. So we have promising tools here that are worth understanding, especially before you buy collagen. And that's the next conversation. We'll get into how to actually read a collagen label, what doses move the needle, and how to tell decent collagen from clever marketing.